Good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. I am your host, Aaron, the house person, and this is the place you come to find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how you can use the loan to help create, build, and sustain generational wealth. So, tonight, as you probably recall, like I said, when you're building your starting lineup, right? You got to have those five pieces. One being point guard being your realtor, two guard being your lender that's going to score you that money, right? Score you the bag. Three being that swing man, that housing HUD consultant that's going to go between the contractor and the lender, looking out for your best interest. Four, that power forward, that contractor. I'm talking old school power forward, right? Not the stretch forward, but the old school power forward who's actually in the paint doing that work. So that contractor who is swinging that hammer, managing that project, and just getting things done. And then of course, five, the title company, that center, protecting your interests. Tonight we are speaking with a four contractor. His name is Reggie Riley. He is with both DC Invest and DCI Construction. So give me 1 second, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring him in. I guess he's not there right now. So, oh, there he is. There he is.
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing. How you feel?
I feel great. How you feel?
Well, no complaints. Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents and educate some folks about the good 203K loan. So definitely appreciate you coming on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. So again, Mr. Reggie Riley with DCI Construction and DC Invest. Typically the way I do it is with the interview portion, got 10 questions, just run through these 10 real quick, and then on the back end, talk about you, your business, and pretty much anything else real estate related. Cool?
Cool.
All right, jump right
Sounds
into it.
Good.
Jump right into it. So first question,
All right.
do you know the 203K process, and could you, have you worked with this loan before?
So that's two questions. So does that count as one or two?
It count as one. It's a combo situation. There's a comment in
there. Yes, we have done construction projects with a buyer or the borrower. They were funded by 203K. I am very familiar with the process, both the streamline and the traditional, if you will. And what was the second part of that question?
Just have you worked with it before, but you answered that one as well.
For sure. Yep.
All right. Question two. Are you licensed, bonded, and insured in the state, and like which areas?
Right. So we're licensed, bonded, and insured in DC. And the unfortunate kind of circumstances that I went through like the end of last year with my business partner. So in lieu of that, I had to go, and for our business, I had to personally go take my MHIC for Maryland. So I just passed that like 3 days ago. And last Thursday, I passed that. And so my application is pending right now in Maryland. But yes, in DC, we licensed, insured, and bonded. And in Maryland, we will be the same here shortly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as like any extra certifications, credentials, belong to any like professional organizations, anything like that? And if so, which ones?
Yeah. So on the construction side, not really, but in real estate in general, I'm a real estate agent, such as yourself. I've done, multiple investment properties on the flip side and the buy and hold side. So what we bring to the table in that regard is when you're working with a project, I can see it from an investor standpoint. I'm not just going to take your blueprints and build what you tell me to build. I'm gonna help you strategize on trying to get that trying to get that highest return on investment. So from a straight builder certification, no, I do not. We are going through some OSHA training right now, so we can bid on some bigger projects. But no. But in terms of other licenses that could help you, you know, whatever your endeavors may be, most definitely.
Cool. So basically, the experience as far as project management and just doing construction in general is there. Okay, cool.
Oh, most definitely, for sure.
So how long have you been in business and, you know, kind of like running the crew?
So on the construction side, we have our crew right now is our internal crew is like 9 guys, and then we have our trade subs and some other subs, a bunch of other subs that we work with also that are all, you know, licensed, insured, and bonded, of course. We have been constructing our own investment properties since like 2000, and I think my first one was in 2004, a little row house in BMO. And then, you know, just kind of parlayed that into some stuff in Prince George's County and DC. And then we started working with other investors and other homeowners in like 2008, 2009, I would say. So it's been 12 years, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as complicated processes with the 203K.
Let me take a little.
What would you say, you know, and everybody's experience is different, but what would you say is the most complicated 203K that you've ever worked on?
So there isn't like one in particular. There isn't one specifically that was complicated. It's just that sometimes you run into, you know, some road bumps in terms of like the lender and what they deem. Sometimes I've run into some issues with the appraiser when they come out to like verify the work and to make sure that verify the work, especially when we've had like a small change order or contingency, you know, where we need to use some of that contingency money. That can be a little tricky, and you have to provide extra documentation on that. But so I would say in the beginning, some of that was complicated. I'm like, hey, this is something that we need to do. The borrower or the buyer or the homeowner agrees, but it wasn't in the original scope. So then going through that process, making sure that change can get funded was a little complicated in the beginning, but now it's something that, you know, we're extremely familiar with and can navigate through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sound like too much of a horror story, so that's a good thing.
Nah, no.
A couple of changes here and there.
I mean, I have a ton of construction horror stories, but they're not necessarily based on the fact that you had a 203K loan. You know what I mean? So like, you know, once we get behind the walls, sometimes you just never know. So we really like, you know, we pride ourselves on the bigger projects where we can, you know, get behind those walls and see what's really going on. A lot of times when you're just trying to make what's there look pretty, you know, you're not really addressing the real root of the issues. So, so just definitely, you know, if your budget can withstand, you know, a deeper look into the systems of the house, I definitely encourage you to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the last couple of years, how many permits would you say you've gotten pulled between like DC and Maryland? Roughly anyway.
Oh man, I mean, just yesterday, I just had a final inspection on a house in Northwest on Klingle Road, and that house alone had 4 building permits, all of the trades, so electrical, mechanical, plumbing. That's 7. Then we had like public space permit for construction staging. We had demo permit, we had dumpster. So just one project alone can have 10. So total number of permits over the last couple of years is probably like, including our trades, over 100. I mean, it's probably been a couple hundred.
Okay. So basically what I heard is there's no problem with pulling permits. You've done that a few times.
No. I mean, we work with a lot of times it's not us getting the permit, it's the architect or the, and or structural engineer getting the permit. And we like to work with the homeowner, especially, if they want to do some kind of house. Can we talk about house hacking on this?
Oh yeah, yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. All right. Especially if you're doing some kind of house hacking. We like to work with the architect, if it's one of the borrowers choosing or one that we recommend, we like to work with them to make sure that you're getting highest and best value, like I said, highest ROI. So, once we have that design and all our I's dotted and T's crossed, it's very easy. It's very easy to pull the permit. And then you have to get all of those inspected. And, I won't say we have a perfect record on inspections, but no contractor does. I mean, just depends on the inspector. It's very subjective, like an appraisal range. Somebody might say this house worth 350, somebody might say it's 365, but that's the same thing with an inspection. One inspector may care about, they have their baseline stuff. Is it safe? Yes. Is it functional? Yes. But then, some things you can nitpick at. And so we have to get those done. So it's not really just about the inspections you've pulled. The permits you've pulled, but the inspections on those permits that you've passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You currently working on any 203K projects?
So I'm waiting on final payment from a 203K project on MLK in Capitol Heights. It was a row house that was 3 beds, 2 baths, but one of those baths were in the basement. So the guy is house hacking. And we added a kitchenette, really like a full kitchen, but we added a kitchenette in the basement, and we kind of separated off the top 2 floors from the basement. And it has a separate entrance and all of that. So we did have a change where he wanted to do some concrete work out back, and we cited it for safety reasons because the existing pad and everything was very cracked and could be a tripping hazard. So we were able to do that and get that funded within the final payment or the contingency money in that 203K. So that's the last one. We just finished that project. I would say like a week ago, and we're waiting on. And the appraisal went out. We finished it 2 weeks ago. The appraisal went out. Appraiser went out last week and approved the changes and the contingency money, and so that's being paid out this week. So that was something where it was just kind of innovative, man. The house had 2 bedrooms in the basement and a bathroom, and it had laundry. So as part of his 203K, we added laundry on the first floor. We didn't separate. We didn't separate all the way like by removing the stairs, but we did put like an exterior door as the doorway to the stairs, like a security door. And so he has his own entrance, they have theirs. What we were unable to do was separate the HVAC and like the plumbing. So they still have shared utilities. So the people upstairs will pay 2/3, he'll pay 1/3. But it was 2 bedrooms, like I said. So we took one of those bedrooms and changed it into the kitchen. And the bigger bedroom is like his bedroom and his like sitting room in the basement. So he's always on travel. So it was like perfect for him, and house hacking, his mortgage will be paid for. So it was very ideal.
So let's pause right there because you mentioned house hack 3 times. So for those who don't know what house hack is, can you explain that to them?
House hacking is when you are going into a house. I mean, it's hack. So the word hack has some kind of, it's not all the way above what we call the table, but you are going into a transaction as a primary residence with the intent on making it an investment property in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's just getting a loan as a primary residence, or in his case, he got a loan as a primary residence to use a 203K, but he's renting out like the top 2 floors. And so it's just a way to kind of like hack your house payment, get your house payment paid for, kind of turn what would have been a primary residence into an investment property.
Okay. So I guess in old school terms, that's just like, oh, I rented out my basement to somebody you know.
Yeah,
But in this
for sure.
particular case, it was a design situation where, you know, you're gonna make the space more comfortable for somebody who you plan on bringing in to offset your mortgage payments.
That's right. You put it a little more eloquently than me, but of course, yep. Usually when you rent out your basement, it only covers like a portion of your mortgage, but it's a way to like get your whole mortgage paid for, if
Right.
not more. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. As far as capacity, you guys have the financial capacity to take on any 203K projects now?
Yeah, so that's important when you're dealing with 203K because they don't give a deposit. And I actually think there's paperwork that prohibits, at least according to the paperwork, the contractor accepting a deposit from the homeowner. I would have to double check that. You may know, you may be able to speak to that more than me. But yes, for sure, we're able to take on some 203K projects. I know you can get the 203K up to 4 units. Those are the ones that we actually like doing the most. It's the multi-unit buildings. So we do have the capacity to start those. You may have, in that case, on a 203K, you may have more draws than say like a normal construction project because you started with no deposit. But yeah, we can definitely get the job started and rolling with no deposit as required really by 203K.
Gotcha. And that's definitely an important point for folks who are listening, because the contractors have to have some money to start that project and get to a certain point where the consultant comes out, checks the list and says, okay, great, we'll go ahead and pay you back the money that you already spent for these things now in order to keep the project going. And then, like you said, you're waiting on your last check now, which is once everything is done, come back, check everything off, say, okay, good to go, we'll cut the last check.
Yep. And that's when you make, and that's as a contractor, that's when we make our money on 203K. I mean, one of the trade secrets with contracting is, you know, usually when we do a normal deal and we get a deposit check, that's kind of when we make our money. I mean, we do use it on the project, but you know, we now have like this pool of money we didn't have. Yes, we have to use a good chunk of it, if not all of it, to work on your project, but it's a whole different financial animal. So your contractor has to definitely be solvent to see it through to the end with minor intervention from the borrower or the homeowner.
Okay. So is there a way for those who, you know, watching right now and they like, well, I mean, I'm trying to see some projects. Is there a way to, you know, a place they can go to see whatever projects that you either currently working on or past projects, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't know if you know this, but I'm actually have an educator at heart, not so much in like the public school system as you, but I used to tutor at, you know, Lincoln Tech and different SAT prep schools and stuff like that. And so it's never just you never really ask me a question and I just give you an answer. You ask me a question and I try to explain to you where my answer is coming from. And so you're always invited out to if you're one of our current clients, you're always invited out to come with me to tour like other projects that we may have. But if you're trying to decide if you want to work with us or interview us or have us bid on your project, you can check out dcinvestllc.com. And then from there, we'll be able to send you a bunch of before and after projects. I can shoot you a ton of addresses. Just reach out to Heather or Tony in the office. And again, that's dcinvestllc.com. And you'll get, you know, we can shoot you whatever you need. Definitely projects that are in similar scope and size to the project that you're working on.
Okay, cool. And well, we kind of answered this question as far as like past 2 or 3K clients. Well, we talked about current, but like any past clients, if somebody said, you know what, that's cool, I can see the projects, but I still want to talk to somebody just to, you know, get an idea of how it was working with you. Any past clients that people can call?
Yeah, we have a bunch of clients. You know, if you need some referrals, we can give you some. That's no problem. Their name and their number, or their name and their email address, or preferred method of contact, and their address. So at a bare minimum, you can see the befores and after, and then, you know, reach out to them if need be.
Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up the 10th. Real easy.
I get 10 out of 10.
Huh? I mean, we don't judge off of that, but that's not for me to judge. That's for the people to judge. But so one of the things we have here, the 203K Done Your Way program, is what we call the Renovate to Live portion of the program, and that's when a current homeowner, because a lot of folks when they think 203K, they automatically think, oh, about to buy a house, fix it up, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And yes, that is cool, and that is probably the primary use, or at least the primary thought anyway. But for current homeowners, I've been trying to tell folks, like, you can use it too. You can use that same product, refinance, and get your current home fixed up. So like for grandma who, tired of going up and down them stairs, refinance, build her a master suite, ensuite, something on that main level. So now she don't have to deal with those stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it might not just be grandma, it might just be, you, whoever's listening to today. So we're actually working on a Renovate to Live project now, kind of in the beginning stages, but out in Windsor Mill. And we're happy to have you guys as the contractors on this project.
Oh, they took the number. They like the number and the bid.
Yeah, I think we working all that out. So
all right, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, everything's looking good.
Okay.
So, what has been your experience as far as people who have used the 203K to buy versus using the 203K to just reinvigorate and renovate their space, their current space?
No problem. On the purchase side, they are way less hands-on than the renovate your space. In the renovate your space, from people that are refinancing into the 203K to get that renovation money, they are 100% hands-on with the renovations. Like every design option we run by them because they're already there. It's already their home. Whereas when somebody is moving in, you can take certain liberties because I look and see what's going on in the market. I look and see what the comps are doing, especially if it's a house hack. They just want highest ROI, right? And so I can just look at the comps and be like, hey, this is the granite we gonna do because this is what the comps say, right? Or this is the flooring we gonna do, or the color flooring, is it light, is it dark? Is it engineered wood, et cetera. And so, because this is what the comps say. But when somebody lives there, every design decision, you have to, they're just way more hands-on, especially if it's a situation where they're not moving out during the construction, where it's not that big a scope and they're living there and they're there with you. Like every time you're there, it's not a positive or a negative. It's just a difference. And you just have to make sure you run everything past them. And that's it. It's way more communication, but it is a little slower in the process because sometimes we have to go research for certain materials, find where it's available. But even though you try to put all that out in that 203K estimate, when they're getting the loan, stuff changes along the way. So I would just say the purchasers are more hands off, and the homeowners, they're way more hands on.
So you mentioned the homeowner still being there.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, again, depending on the scope of the project, it may be a situation where your home is considered inhabitable. So then you got to leave while they're doing the work.
Yeah, you got to bounce.
And while you're doing that, the good thing about the loan is that it actually can, one, pay mortgage payments for you, but also can pay for you to go stay somewhere else while the home is being renovated. So
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
That's why this is 203K Tuesday. You come here to find out all the things you don't know about the 203K loan. That's what we do here.
I'm gonna have to forward this out on my non-Instagram.
So hold on, let me see. We got a person here that's asking again. Well, not again. Maybe they came in a little late. But what a house hack is. So if you could run that one more time.
Yeah, house hack is when you simply use the 203K loan. In this scenario, in our platform, on your platform, is when you use the 203K loan, and you have to declare that this is going to be a primary residence, but you're using it for an investment property in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're renting out the basement, renting out the majority of the house, or something else where you don't live there at all, but you've been able to take advantage of this loan product at an extremely low interest rate that has that has construction money built in, as opposed to going the traditional investment route or the hard money route, et cetera. So it's just a way to hack your first or your first couple investment properties.
Okay.
I know I didn't say it as eloquently as you, but I'll try.
Did a great job, sir. Great job. So, in addition to helping folks with, construction needs and things of that nature, there's another capacity that you operate in. Can you talk about that? I think you mentioned education, but you talked about linking and things of that nature. But as far as the real estate education, what do you do in that space?
Yeah, so under our DC Invest platform, it's really just a way of making ourselves available to anybody that's interested in real estate investing in general. And then based on your need, we kind of like funnel you to the best place possible, to the best resources available. So, for example, we have individuals that reach out to us all the time that want to get started in real estate investing, and we don't have a mentor program or anything like that, but we do mentor you if you have the financial capacity to participate, in a project. And so, as long as you can participate in a project, whether it's a Baltimore, level, financial level type project, or all the way down to a DC, or all the way up to a DC level, DC financial level type project, we can mentor you and show you the ropes like every step of the way, but it'll all be focused like on that project. So you don't have to pay, $10,000 to get, this education. In theory, you can actually put your $10,000 on a project that's yours, that's in your name, and we are just there to help you every step of the way, but also providing the services in terms of construction, real estate, and just working with you, mentoring you in that way, not necessarily a mentor program. So if you have a project, and a lot of times people will reach out to us with a legacy home, like in DC, they'll say, hey, unfortunately, my grandma passed, or she had to go into a nursing home. We have this old home. I'm buying it from the family. I want to partner with you guys to develop it into the highest and best use or the highest ROI. And then we'll walk with you actually through that process, and partner with you on that project. But it's all deal based. We've tried the other methods, and they're just you just don't get the level of initiative, maybe, or the just really not just work ethic. I mean, people have things going on in their lives already, and they're trying to add real estate investing to it. And it's very, very, very hard. When you actually have a deal that, then it becomes like real. And you can learn the process throughout. Of course, when we're on site during construction or in the deal analysis phase, we're talking about comparables. We're talking about what we're going to do to get the highest and best return in terms of design, in terms of when we come out, in terms of, even like painting the front door, like as a question. Did you know that like most front doors are painted black? And it's just, you see like red doors, yellow doors, blue doors, they stick out, they catch the eye. But the odds are, like an investment property that sells, it has a black door. So just little stuff like that. It's just, we talk about stuff like that, but we really dig into the root and give you access to all of our resources, and just, try and be an additional resource to you also. So, but it's all based on like having a deal that we're doing together.
Gotcha. So basically not so much the book situation, the study, but hey, we jumping right in this fire. And we learning right now as we go along through this process.
Yep.
Hands on.
Yep. Hands on. Yep.
That's typically one of the better ways to learn.
And it's funny, man, like that property that you came with me to up in Baltimore a couple of times on Tessier, that was a situation there. So the deal we did with them was we figured out through the course of the entire project, we might need, say, 40 to 45,000, right? So they put up the first 30, and we were on the hook to put up the next 30. But that's just the money aspect. And that was easy to work out. There have been times where they had a question about something and I just been so busy. I was just like, man, you got to figure it out. And they figure it out because now they're like on the hook because it's their deal. If we were just in a classroom setting, you know, that book gonna get tossed aside for the kids, for laundry, for Netflix. You know what I'm saying? But because it's a deal and we got a mortgage payment every month, you know, and it's not that I'm not gonna help you figure it out by the end of the week, but this Tuesday, like if you want to figure it out today, you gotta figure it out. Call this guy. He can help you figure it out, right? And you know, the couple that we were working with on that project, man, they've been figuring it out. And it's been like, you know, they were thrown into the fire or thrown into the deep end and they learning to swim.
I mean, you know, it might seem a little scary, but when you get to the other side or once you make it back to the shore or to the edge of the pool, you look back and you're like, man, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And now you're more prepared for that next project and probably even more eager to get ready and get started on that next project as well.
Yeah, because they know they're gonna make more money because then they're gonna kick me to the curb because they like, well, we done figured out 9 out of 10 things on our own. And so we don't need them this time, but that's fine. That's 100% fine. And then we can do something together where it's like a true partnership and not a mentor. You know, this business, man, is all about relationships and you know, not burning bridges and always, you know, trying to go above and beyond for anybody that you're working with. So
I like it. Man, well, that 30 went by kind of quick, actually.
No, I talk a lot, bro. My bad.
Oh, no, you good. You're good. So for those, I mean, I think you said the website earlier, but for those who are trying to, you know, get in contact with you, you might have some questions, got a project, need your opinion, want to get started on something. Again, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, a couple of different ways. You can always call the office. We old school. We pick up the telephone. We have somebody picking up the telephone. If they don't pick up the telephone, please send an email letting us know. But the number's 301-795-4272. That's 301-795-4272. Or you can call us, DC Invest, DCI Construction. I'm not what you can call us. So you can check us out online, dcinvestllc.com. We have an Instagram at dcinvestllc. There's a lot of before and afters on that. A bunch of videos. Actually on YouTube, man, if you search DC Invest or the previous iteration of our company when we had another partner, Capital Invest, you'll see a lot of videos with Marcus and myself when we were on the radio and stuff like that, just, you know, shooting the breeze, talking real estate stuff. So definitely reach out to us if this is something you wanna partake in or, you know, endeavor upon.
All right. There you go, folks. You got it. That's Mr. Reggie Riley from DC Invest and DCI Construction. I'd be remiss if I definitely did not give a shout out to our fallen soldier, Mr. Marcus Thomas, your business partner. Great dude. Also had a heart and a mind of giving and education, making sure, you know, you understood what was going on. And motivation as well. Definitely a motivator as well.
For sure.
The man, the myth, the legend, as y'all say.
The legend, yeah. Did you see the toast yesterday?
Yeah, I did see the toast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody said something about Kool-Aid or something.
I mean, we had to give Ricardo something. He don't turn 21 till May.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, he ain't getting no Kool-Aid, but I told him he had to step off camera. So. Like, come on, they had to make it official. Like, the job day, the work day is over. You know what I mean? We're not working on the house, but yeah, I mean, around the 21st of every month, man, we just like to toast him, keep his name going. And, you know, it's just our thing.
It's a good thing. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. We'll be talking today because we got the Winslow Mill situation to work out. So,
man, Winslow Mill, East North Ave, 808.
Well, that's East North Ave. That's the same one.
Oh, my bad.
35th.
Yeah, I just like saying 808.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So for folks who watching don't understand that, that's like a DC metro area go-go thing. The 808 is just that drive that gets you going. So, yeah, so no, just inside joke, y'all. Don't worry about that. But yeah, again, appreciate you coming on the show, man. And we'll
problem,
talk
man.
to you soon.
No problem. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next 203K Tuesday. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.